Hey folks, Rob here, and I thought we'd do a little different type of video today. This is this rocking chair was given to me by my brother and sister-in-law for my granddaughter, and it had a few issues with it. This arm was broken, and this piece here, it was broken off, and actually has a screw comes through from the back side into this piece, so we're going to be gluing this together. This little piece here is loose also, but it's pinned in there, so I don't know if I want to try and take that out to glue that or not. I may just leave that. That might be a little loose. Reglue the bottom, reglue this one here, but it actually had a screw that comes up from the bottom into this one, and like I said, it's pinned right here, and then the center dowel is completely loose, so I'll be re-gluing it. We're going to glue up this arm tonight and get that put back together and clamped, and I may try and go ahead and get this glued in. I'll want to sand off this right here to take the finish off to allow the glue to adhere better to the chair. But what I got to do that with is I picked up some Gorilla Glue, wood glue, and we're going to glue this piece together. And we'll probably take this other side off too. And although it's fairly tight, I believe it could be better. So I'm going to apply some Gorilla Glue here and put a good liberal coating, because I will just wipe off any squeeze out that I get. And we're going to fix this up for my little grandbaby. Her mama's got a rocking chair, and she loves getting up in it and rocking. This way she'll have her own little rocking chair. So I'm going to put this broken piece back on. Of course, we're going to have a lot of squeeze out. I have some clamps right here, and I'm going to clamp this with these vice grip type clamps. That should hold it. Let's get one down here on the end first. I'm going to put one right here. Try to keep it from sliding off there again. And like I said, I want to get this to be a good tight joint. I want to make sure we're even all the way around. And then I'm going to take my other clamp and come in from the end and just clamp it and get that squares together good. And I'll take a rag. Alright, well, I guess I'll just use one of my gun cleaning rags and use that as a glue rag from now on. Let me wipe some of this excess off here. I want to try to get this joint as tightly back together as I can, so that there's no splintering or anything. I don't want her getting a splinter from this. I think we could go forward just a little bit. That glue's already started to set up. See what I'm doing? I tapped it forward a little bit to get that joint a little closer together right there. And then I'll clamp it from the back here first. And that hopefully will, and then I'll clamp it right here where the joint is. And we're going to let this set up about 24 hours. And I'll leave that like that. So while that's setting up, we're going to let me find some sandpaper here, and we'll sand this off and get this ready. So I just got a piece of sandpaper, and I'm just going to go around this spindle and take some of this finish off so the wood will adhere, or the glue will adhere. And I'll just lay that down there like that and kind of go around it I'm probably blocking your shot there, and you probably can't see what I'm doing. I'm just going to lay that there on the edge of the table and just go around it, take some of that varnish off so that the wood glue will adhere. We'll get good adhesion between adhesion. That ain't even a word. I just invented that one. We'll get good adhesion. That sounds like a hillbilly term, like I hear you, son. So, clean this up just a little bit. So that will go back down into the, actually this one will go up into the arm. So we'll get some glue on that. And let me clean up the bottom a little bit. It doesn't have to go quite as deep. So about there, we don't want to take as much off the finish. So I'll take a little less off there. And then we'll get some glue on there. So there, we've taken a little bit of finish off that. And I think I'll just go ahead and glue this into this part. So that can be setting up. I would really like to get this out, but it has a pin shot into it there, and I'm really afraid that I'm not going to be able to remove this without maybe breaking the end of the dowel. So I would like to get that tightened up. But if I get this tightened up and this fixed, maybe that will cure it. I want this to be as close to back to normal as possible. And I'm dropping everything tonight. So anyway, we're going to take a little bit of our glue. I'm just going to put a little bit here in the bottom of the hole. And then I'm going to put a little bit around our rod here. And like I said, I will clean out any squeeze out. I want to get a good tight joint. So I'm going to work that around. Remove the squeeze out. And the way I'm going to do that one is I'm actually going to take a bar clamp and we're going to clamp it. And that should give us enough. That should give that good adhesion. And we'll leave that to dry overnight. Now, this little chair, to remove the armrest, it's got a screw right here in the back. So we're going to go ahead and take this one off and try to tighten it up a little bit too. So I'm going to remove this screw from the back of the spindle that holds the armrest on. And these are just, look like drywall screws, to be honest. And then underneath the bottom, we have a screw right here that holds this spindle on. This one is a little harder to get to. You grab a shorter screwdriver. You should always use the right tool for the job. And I just wasn't doing that. So I got the shorter, and I'm using the hard screwdrivers that I picked up from Walmart. These were like $8 for a set of them on clearance. So I've actually used these quite a bit since I picked them up. Great little screwdrivers, especially for the price. You know, $8 for a decent set of screwdrivers. These have magnetic tips. They're just a good general purpose screwdriver at a reasonable price. Nothing fancy about them. They're screwdrivers. That screw goes in at a little bit of an angle. So there is this armrest just came off. Now, let's see. Yeah, this one's loose too. I don't believe these were ever glued in there. I believe they were just press fitted. This one is a little bit tighter, so we're going to do the same with this one. We are going to sand this off a little bit, and I'm going to glue it in there. I want this to last as long as my little grandbaby wants to sit in it. She's 2 years old. And this was an awesome gift for my brother to give me for my little grandbaby. Elwood, he's a pretty good guy. And I want to fix it up enough that she can use it, and maybe it get passed on to somebody else in the family who's got a little one. So we'll try and make it as sturdy as possible. Took a little bit of that finish off there. Get the sawdust all over me. And we're just going to do the same here. We're going to put a little drop of glue in the bottom of the hole there, and then I'm going to put a little bit of glue around the edge of the dowel, or the spindle, whatever you want to call it. It's really a spindle. I'm going to pull that out, reinsert it, get that glue spread all around good. We'll give it a few turns there. Wipe off our excess. And there we go. I'll put a clamp on this one. And set this aside. Before I put it in the chair, I'll actually sand these ends here a little bit. And so that's got that glued up. We'll set that aside. And those pieces can be drying overnight. Now I just want to check the rest of the chair for loose joints. Everything else feels pretty solid. I think everything else is fairly good on the chair. This piece up here is slightly loose. This does have a screw in it. I might be able to just tighten that down. Let's flip it over, and these do have a screw in them, so maybe if I can tighten these just a little bit, that will tighten the chair back up. Oh yeah, that's loose. So a little bit of a tightening there. These are loose. So all these screws need a little bit of a tightening. I don't want to over tighten them and strip them, but they could all stand a little bit of a tightening. Yeah, they're all kind of loose. I guess that's probably what happens over a little kid rocking in it. Yeah, all these screws are loose. That screws here, here. Maybe the longer one would work better there. Yeah, these are all loose. want to tighten them to the point it busts the wood, but I do want to tighten them up a little bit. And there we go. Oh yeah, that definitely tightened the little chair up a whole lot. Yeah. Yeah, that fixed that. It does appear like there's a crack in the seat, but in looking at it, it doesn't go all the way through. I think it's just a finish in the crack, or a crack in the finish. So we'll leave this to dry. Yeah, that tightened right up. We get these pieces fixed, and I believe that will fix our little chair. Actually, this piece here, let's try this. I think I can go ahead and sand this piece a little bit right here. Get some of this finish off. I think I can go ahead and reinstall this side. And let this just be drying on the chair. I think I can just clamp it all to the chair. So we're going to try that. I hope this tickles my little grandbaby. She loves her mamaws rocking chair. So we've sanded those a little bit. Now we're going to apply a little bit of glue. So same here. This has had a little bit of glue in the bottom. I can see the remnants of, I don't think it ever had any up on the dowel rod itself. Either that or the finish kept it from adhering properly. Oh, it's hot out here in the building tonight. So we'll put a little bit in here. Reset our arm. Okay. I want to remove my excess. And I think I will turn it over and put this screw that holds this on in. That will help pull that joint tight. So we'll go ahead and reset this screw. And that will pull that joint good and tight and hold it. So it doesn't need so much clamping pressure. I'll still put a clamp on it. This will just kind of hold this joint together. Don't want to over tighten it. Again, I want to wipe off my excess glue here. And I'm going to go ahead and reinstall my screw from the back as well. That way everything is just lined up, and I'm still going to, like I said, put a clamp there on the middle of it to hold it. So we're retightening this screw on the back of the armrest. That will pull that joint in good and tight. And then I am going to take my clamp, and I'm just going to go right here on this spindle and put enough pressure on it that it pushes everything down nice and tight, gets that glue down in there, and allows that to set up. So anyway, guys, I guess we will finish this. Yeah, I can't remount the other arm because it's actually broken back here. So I'll have to continue this tomorrow after this has had a chance to set up overnight. And we'll continue this video later. Anyway, guys, that's kind of what I'm doing. I don't know if I'll upload this video and then come back and do a short follow-up video just showing the finished project, or just wait and finish it all. Basically, I'm just going to repeat what I've done over there. Sand the bottom of those, put them in here, put my screw back through from the bottoms here, and reclamp it, and hope it holds. Anyway, guys, appreciate you watching. I believe the grandbaby will like this, and tickle her. She'll be like her mama and have her own rocking chair. So give me a thumbs up, guys. I appreciate everybody that watches and takes the time to leave comments. And until the next video, we'll see you later.